Well, let's cross now to Hania in Crete and join analyst Giannis Κουτσομύτης. Thank you for being with us again here on France 24. Is a deal in sight, or should we worry?
Well, until 2 days ago or a day ago, we were almost optimistic that there could be a deal. But since last night, we've seen some very ambiguous responses, both from the creditors and the Greek government. What we have right now is two extremely opposite proposals. The Greek government had sent last night, just before midnight, their proposal to the creditors in Brussels. And as we speak right now, it is expected that the creditors will send their proposal to the Greek government. What is at stake now are basic political differences. It is the fiscal gap, it is the labor reform, it is the pension system, and it's the liberalization of the markets.
So wait a minute, hang on a sec, Giannis. What you're saying is that that quote-unquote realistic proposal from Alexei Tsipras and the one fleshed out overnight in Berlin, they're like two ships that sail in the night that have crossed paths?
Yes, exactly. As a Greek official tweeted or said on Twitter a few minutes ago, said these are totally two different opposite proposals. There needs to be some political consensus right now, because Greece is on brinkmanship for 3.5 months, and the economy is suffering, the unemployment is rising, and still there is no solution to Greece's fiscal and economic problem. So right now there needs to be a breakthrough, both from the creditors and the Greek government, to reach a consensus and try to find a way to go through in the next stage, which will be a program for the next years for Greece that will enable it to come out of the recession, come out of hardship from long years of austerity, and prosper again. Right now, we're not sure that there will be a solution until Friday. There is talk in Athens today that the Greek government might be considering snap elections to go to the polls and reach new mandate from the people to set the new proposals to the people and try to get a new mandate on how to deal after that.
So wait, so from where you're sitting, you're saying that Prime Minister Tsipras would rather have a snap election than make too many concessions?
Well, there is a big resistance within his left-wing party. Just 10 days ago, there was a very difficult discussion in the Central Committee of the Syriza left-wing party, and a proposal by the hardline left-wing wing of the party narrowly won a majority. So there is talk among the Syriza MPs that there will be more than 12 MPs that they are not willing to vote for an agreement. 12 MPs, it's the parliamentary majority for Syriza. If 12 Syriza MPs do not vote for an agreement with the creditors, then new elections will have to be held. The government will have to resign. So Tsipras is in a very tough spot right now. He has to find a consensus with the creditors and also consensus with his hardline Syriza party left wing.
We know it's not a run on the bank, but we know there's been massive capital flight in the past week, people taking their savings out of Greek banks. Is that a further sign that we're heading towards an impasse?
Well, as we speak tonight or early tomorrow morning, the European Central Bank will decide on the next steps for the emergency liquidity assistance for the Greek banks. For the past 2 weeks, the European Central Bank has only provided 200 million extra finance for the Greek banks. So right now we're hitting an impasse. If a decision by the ECB tonight or tomorrow morning will not give new fresh liquidity to the Greek banks, then we'll have a serious problem in the next couple of weeks. But as we see, there's not been any panic until today. But if there is no, if Greece misses the payment to the IMF on Friday, and there is real uncertainty in the markets, we don't know what we can expect for the next week.
And what's your gut feeling?
Well, the logic says that Alexis Tsipras has to decide between very harsh measures and, on the other side, default and catastrophe for the Greek economy and the Greek society. So it's a very tough spot. So I believe he wants to gain some time. He wants to gain some consensus from his party for harsh compromise, but he cannot right now sign on to very tough measures that will be imposed as a take-it-or-leave-it deal by the creditors. I hope that in the proposal that will reach his office tonight from Berlin or Brussels, there will be some, as we say, carrot beside of the stick that will enable him to go to his electorate and say, look, we have to endure harsh measures, but there is some sort of a debt relief, some sort of investment package, so he will be able to come out of this with some political face saved. But as we speak, if there is no real comprehensive debt relief or some other carrot for the Greek electorate, I don't see how he will go to the Greek parliament and get a positive vote for this package.
All right, Giannis Κουτσομύτης telling creditors there, offer some wiggle room a little bit to the Prime Minister so he can save face. Many thanks for joining us from Hamia.